welcome to the deep dive. Today we're taking a really interesting set of source materials. Basically an English communication lesson focused on feelings.
Yeah, it looks foundational, beginner-level stuff on the surface.
Exactly. But our mission here isn't just to, list the words. We want to unpack the strategy behind it all. How talking about how we feel is really fundamental to connecting with people.
Right. Because even though the structures seem simple, maybe A1 level, they're the absolute bedrock.
They're the tools, aren't they?
They are. Tools for building trust, for showing competence. When you can say how you feel, you stop just reciting lines. You actually sound like you're in the conversation.
I like that distinction.
Yeah.
And the core idea we pulled from these sources is that sharing feelings, good or bad, it's really about engaging socially.
It's strategic.
Not just grammar practice.
Definitely not. Think about it. Every day we feel something. Tired, happy, annoyed, excited. And being able to put that into simple words, that's how you build rapport. It's how you get that social fluency. Even something basic like, oh, I'm a little tired today.
Yeah.
That little phrase, it just opens a door. It invites empathy in a way that just, staying silent doesn't.
Okay, so let's lay that groundwork first. The essential vocabulary from the source material. There are 5 core feelings highlighted.
The foundational 5, yeah.
These are the ones every learner really needs to get comfortable with, not just to understand, but to actually, start conversations.
You can think of them as like the high-frequency words of emotion. If you nail these, you can handle most everyday situations.
Happy, sad, angry, tired, excited.
Those are the ones. But it's crucial to look at how they're used, the sentence structures around them, not just the words in isolation.
Good point. So let's start with the big 2, happy and sad. How do the sources frame using these? Strategically, I mean.
Okay, deep dive 1.1, happy versus sad. So, happy, expressing good feelings. The sources show 2 main ways. First, the simple statement, I'm happy today.
Okay, straightforward.
Yeah.
Like a status update.
Exactly. But then there's a more powerful structure they introduce using when.
Like the example, I feel happy when I listen to music.
Precisely. And why is that more powerful?
Well, I guess it gives more information. It's not just, I'm happy, full stop.
Right. It turns a statement into a conversation starter. I'm happy can sometimes just end things. But I feel happy when I listen to music. Suddenly you shared something personal.
And it invites a response.
Totally.
Yeah.
Oh, really? What kind of music? Or, me too. See? The when creates an opening. It generates flow. That's the strategic bit.
That's a great insight. Okay, so the flip side. Sad?
Sad is for negative feelings, obviously,
Mm-hmm.
but the sources often link it to a clear reason, usually using because or sometimes when.
Examples like, I feel sad when it rains. Or she is sad because her cat is sick.
And structurally, that because or when is doing important work. It gives context immediately.
So the other person doesn't have to guess why you're down.
Exactly. You're managing the interaction. You provide the why for your mood right away. It's smoother, less awkward. It shows, social awareness.
Okay, that makes sense. Providing the reason up front. Let's move to the next pair. Angry and tired. Probably very common feelings to need to express.
Oh, definitely. Angry and tired. Angry defined as that strong feeling, being mad or upset. And again, look at the triggers in the examples. They're concrete, immediate.
I get angry when I lose my keys. Super relatable.
Isn't it? Or he's angry because the bus is late.
Yeah.
It shows that in conversation, expressing anger often comes with, or maybe even needs, that quick explanation.
The justification for the strong feeling.
Right, the inconvenience that sparked it. Now, tired, the basic state of being physically or mentally worn out. The classic example is, I'm tired after work.
Simple enough.
But the sources give a really interesting layered example. We're tired but happy.
Okay. Tired but happy.
And that's incredibly useful because it immediately introduces emotional complexity. It acknowledges the physical state, the tiredness, but it overrides it with the positive emotional state, happiness.
So it tells the other person, yeah, I'm drained, but don't worry, I'm not actually unhappy.
Precisely. It strategically manages their perception. Really clever, actually.
That nuance is key, and it leads nicely into later sections. But let's wrap up the basic 5 first with excited.
Excited. Yeah, excited. This one's all about looking forward, isn't it? Anticipation for something good coming up.
Like the examples, I'm excited for my birthday, or they're excited about the weekend. It's future-focused.
Exactly. The preposition changes too for an event, about a period or topic.
So if you want to talk about your plans, maybe get someone else interested too, leading with, I'm excited about my trip. is a good conversational move.
It is. It signals enthusiasm and invites them to ask more without you directly asking a question like, what do you think of my trip? It's subtle engagement.
So these 5, happy, sad, angry, tired, excited, they're the core words.
They are. But the real takeaway is how you frame them. Using when, because, but. Those little connecting words. They're the difference between just stating a feeling and actually starting a conversation.
Okay, foundation laid. But real conversation isn't just those 5 words. We need nuance. And the source material tackles this by pairing emotions showing opposites.
Yeah, this is a really common teaching technique, pairing opposites. It helps with memory, for sure.
But strategically.
Strategically, it helps learners see emotions on a spectrum. It's not just good, bad. It's about different kinds of feelings, different intensities. It helps map that landscape.
Right, moving beyond the binary. Let's look at the first pair they give. Nervous and relaxed, often related to events, right?
Definitely. Nervous and relaxed. Nervous is that feeling before something potentially stressful, pre-event tension.
The example was classic. I feel nervous before an exam. That uncertainty, the evaluation aspect.
Exactly. It's active, temporary, often implies you're gearing up for something.
And relaxed is the opposite state,
Huh.
after the stress or just absence of stress.
Pretty much. The source links it to things like vacation. I feel relaxed when I'm on vacation. It often signals you're not preparing for action.
And conversationally, they work together. If someone says they're nervous,
The natural follow-up is often about how to relax, right? Or offering reassurance.
and if someone says they're relaxed,
You might ask why. Oh, nice. What are you up to? Or what makes you feel relaxed? They prompt different kinds of interaction.
okay, next pair. Bored and interested, very relevant for learners or really anyone in a long meeting.
Yes. Bored and interested. Bored is about lacking engagement. I'm bored when I wait too long.
hmm And saying you're bored in a conversation,
Hmm.
that's a bit of a signal, isn't it?
It can be, yeah. It might suggest, hey, let's change the topic, or can we speed this up? You have to be a bit careful how you use it, maybe soften it. We'll get to that.
Good point. And interested is the direct opposite. Curiosity, engagement. The example was perfect. I'm interested in learning English.
Right. And notice the word change there, bored when something happens, but interested in a topic.
Yeah, in.
That little word in focuses the feeling onto the subject. Interested in this. It makes it a stronger hook for conversation, showing alignment.
Nice detail. Okay, finally, let's circle back to angry, but contrast it with calm.
Angry and calm. So we said angry is often that reactive frustration, like getting angry about traffic. It feels like something happening to you.
Right, external trigger.
Calm, on the other hand, often feels more internal, more self-regulated. The example was, she's calm when she paints.
Suggests an activity that brings calm.
Exactly. So the strategic difference feels like one of agency. Anger is often a reaction to the world. Calm can be a state you cultivate.
So if a learner says, I feel calm when I meditate, they're not just stating a feeling, they're sharing a personal coping strategy.
Precisely. And that's the value of understanding these pairs, nervous, relaxed, bored, interested, angry, calm. It shows emotions aren't just on-off switches. They exist on spectrums. Using these opposites helps you pinpoint where you are on that spectrum, moving beyond just happy or sad.
All right, we've got the words, we've got the nuances with opposites.
Yeah.
Now for what feels like the most actionable part of the source material. Section 3, softening feelings.
Yes, this is where things get really interesting. It's often the biggest aha moment for learners
Why is that?
because it's where grammar meets, well, social grace. It's the difference between just being technically correct and actually sounding natural, polite, competent in a conversation.
Okay, let's break it down. The sources mention different basic structures. I feel, I'm feeling, and just I am. Is there a strategic choice between them?
There is, yeah. The source material touches on this subtly. I am happy or I am tired. It sounds quite stable, almost like a permanent state sometimes.
Okay, like it's a core part of you right now?
Sort of. Whereas I feel happy or I feel tired, that shifts the focus. It's more about your internal perception at this moment. It feels a bit more subjective, maybe more temporary.
And what about the ing form? I'm feeling tired.
The continuous tense.
Why?
Feeling. That's often used strategically to really emphasize the temporary nature of the feeling.
How so?
Well, if you say, I am tired, maybe implying you're always tired after work, but I'm feeling tired right now suggests it's just current. Maybe it'll pass after a coffee or a short break.
So it kind of manages expectations. Like, don't worry, this isn't my permanent state.
Exactly. It subtly lowers the burden on the listener. If you're always tired, that's kind of heavy. If you're just feeling tired now, it's just an observation. That choice of tense is a neat little strategy.
Wow, okay. That alone is useful.
Mm.
But the real core of this section was those small softening words.
Yes. What's fascinating here is the power of a little and a bit. They seem tiny, insignificant maybe.
Yeah, just modifier.
They are modifiers, but they're doing so much more than just adjusting intensity. They're performing social work. They're markers of politeness, of awareness.
Okay, explain that. Why can't someone just say, I am bored, be direct?
Well, you can, but in many English-speaking contexts, bluntness, especially with negative feelings, can land pretty hard.
Oh.
Saying, I am bored, can sound accusatory, like you're blaming the situation or the people around you. It can sound impatient, even a bit rude, especially if you're a guest or in a group. It can really jolt the conversation.
Ah, I see. So a little or a bit kind of
Yes.
smooths it over.
Exactly. Social lubrication, like you said earlier, when you say, I'm a little nervous or I'm a bit stressed, you're still communicating the feeling, but you're also minimizing its impact on everyone else.
You're acknowledging it, but saying it's manageable.
Precisely. You're showing emotional awareness. You're saying, yes, this feeling is here, but it's not taking over. It's not a crisis. You don't need to drop everything and fix it for me.
Let's contrast that. The source material implicitly compares I am angry versus, say, I'm a little upset. Big difference.
Huge difference. I am angry. That can feel like a confrontation. High intensity. It almost forces the other person to react strongly, maybe defensively or apologetically.
Okay.
I'm a little upset. It's more of an observation. It lowers the temperature immediately. It frames the feeling as something contained, manageable. For a learner, mastering a little and a bit is absolutely vital for sounding, well, friendly, natural.
It shows you're considering the other person's feelings too.
Yes. It signals that awareness. It turns what could be a complaint into just sharing a mild state. It's like emotional diplomacy in everyday chat.
We really can't emphasize this enough, can we? If your English feels a bit too direct or maybe even harsh sometimes.
Chances are you might be missing these softeners. You're saying, I am tired, when I'm feeling a little tired, would land much more smoothly. It's a key part of social fluency.
Okay, so we have the words, the nuances, the crucial softening strategy. Now let's see it all in action. Section 4 uses examples, scenarios, bringing it to life.
Exactly. Because theory is one thing, but seeing how these phrases actually work in a dynamic situation is where it really clicks. And it shows emotions aren't static.
Right. The sources started with some personal stories. That anecdote about a first day work or teaching, that was interesting.
Yeah, dual emotions. The story was about walking into a new job, feeling so nervous, shy, cold hands, all the classic anxiety signs. But the key was the shift. People smiled, were friendly, and the feeling changed first to relaxed and then even to excited.
And there was another example teaching English online for the first time, feeling excited but also scared.
Yes. And that's such an important point for learners. Feeling two seemingly contradictory emotions at once, totally normal, nervous and excited.
Like starting a new project or moving somewhere new.
Exactly. And being able to say that I'm nervous but excited, it's really effective communication. It explains why you might seem hesitant one moment and enthusiastic the next. That little word but just bridges the two feelings perfectly. Makes you relatable.
And the sources suggested learners try this themselves. Think about their own first-time experiences, like giving a presentation, and using I felt to practice.
Yeah, connecting the language to your own real memories is probably the fastest way to make it stick, to really internalize it.
Okay, now let's break down that model conversation they provided, the Friday evening one. It really showcases the softening, doesn't it?
Oh, it's a masterclass. Dialogue analysis, Friday evening scenario. It starts so simply. Two people meet after work on Friday. How are you?
And the reply, I'm good, but a little tired. Right there, first response.
Bam! Even with the overall positive, I'm good, they immediately slip in that softener, a little, for the tiredness. It's realistic but gentle.
Yeah, the friend is all enthusiasm. I'm happy, it's Friday, I feel relaxed already. Total contrast.
Which is great. It creates a positive vibe, and it allows the first speaker to then admit, yeah, I'm a bit stressed, because they were finishing a project. Again, a bit.
That little softener makes all the difference.
It really does. They share the negative feeling, stress, but minimize its weight because of the context and the softener. The conversation flows easily from work stress to looking forward to dinner and relaxing. No drama, no heavy emotional load.
And it even mentions how the feeling will change after dinner, after good food, feeling calm. It reinforces that feeling shift.
Exactly. It shows how talking about feelings, even minor ones, helps people understand each other and adjust. And how simple things, like food or just the end of the week, can change your state.
Okay, finally, the sources had those quick, quiz-like scenarios, matching feelings to situations.
The quiz scenarios, quick context shifts. Yeah, these weren't really about right answers so much as training that instant association, linking common situations to likely feelings.
Let's run through a few. What do they teach us strategically? Receiving a gift from a friend.
Immediate response. Happy or excited? Lesson. Unexpected positive input triggers these outward positive feelings.
Stuck inside, rainy day, no internet.
Bored. Lesson. Lack of stimulation leads to boredom. Pretty direct.
Starting a new job tomorrow.
Nervous or a little excited? Lesson. Anticipation of something big and unknown often involves that dual emotion. You need to acknowledge both the potential upside and downside.
Okay, finished homework, made tea, sitting on the sofa.
Relaxed. Textbook case. Lesson. Completing tasks plus comfort equals relaxation. The reward state.
Missing the bus, knowing you'll be late.
Angry or upset? Lesson. Sudden external frustration often triggers a strong, immediate negative label.
Seeing your best friend after ages.
Happy and excited again. Lesson.
Yeah.
Social connection is a powerful positive trigger.
The last one was really nuanced. English test tomorrow, but you studied a little.
Yeah, this was great. The suggested feelings weren't stress or fear. They were tired,
From the studying.
but also calm.
Because you're prepared.
Exactly. Tired but calm. That perfectly captures that feeling of, okay, I put the work in, I'm exhausted, but I'm actually okay about the outcome. It's sophisticated emotional awareness. It's not just happy sad. It's understanding that layered state that comes from effort and preparation. That's real fluency in expressing feeling. Hashtag tag tag outro.
So what does this all mean? We've really covered a lot today, haven't we? From those basic 5 feelings
Happy, sad, angry, tired, excited.
to the opposites that add nuance, nervous, relaxed, bored, interested, angry, calm, and then getting into the essential strategic tools. Choosing the right structure, like I feel versus I'm feeling.
And critically mastering those softeners. I'm a little, or I'm a bit.
Yeah, that feels like the biggest practical takeaway. Those little words make a huge difference in sounding natural and friendly.
They really do. They turn simple statements into signals of social awareness, of empathy.
And the sources had that great suggestion for practice. Just ask yourself every morning, how do I feel today?
Yeah, I loved that. It's not just language practice. It's like a mini mindfulness check-in that connects the words directly to your own experience.
Makes it real.
And it reinforces the idea that feelings change all the time, and that's totally okay. Your confidence grows when you can actually name that reality, moment by moment. Each strategic word choice brings you closer.
Which leads us to our final thought for you. We've talked a lot about how saying how you feel builds trust and connection with other people.
Right, the communication aspect.
But what about the internal effect? Consider this. How much does just the act of naming your feeling, even just silently, to yourself, help you manage it?
Ooh, interesting.
If you just identify, okay, I'm feeling a little nervous right now,
Yeah.
does simply putting that label on it give you a bit of distance, a bit of control? Does it help regulate the emotion itself? Quite apart from telling anyone else.
That's a powerful thought, that the act of articulation isn't just for others, but a tool for self-management too. The hidden power of simply naming your state.
Something to think about. That internal strategic use of emotional fluency.